Well, good evening and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. We are broadcasting live and then on demand on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, and of course, if you're a little old-fashioned, YouTube and Facebook. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. The 31 days of gay Christmas have begun. It's Halloween. I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and welcome to the first LGBTQ talk show of its kind in the entire world. 4 years ago, it was an experiment that survived, then thrived. Now it's been reborn again. We are going to laugh and play through our LGBTQ world next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
And
after losing to McElhenney, Reynolds underwent the colonoscopy and learned that the procedure was potentially life-saving because
It's all happening out tonight. With your hosts, gay guru Al Ferguson, lesbian activist FayWhat, pansexual leather daddy Elimination, drag queen and comedian Auntie Maim, Latino muscle bear Jonathan Casañas, Gen Z political advocate Maxx Fenning, Gen Z bear and actor Cameron Glass, leadership coach and leather shirt Mark Moffitt, Indo-Caribbean artist Trinidadi, Muslim American communications exec Cal Gajraj. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
this season forecast is the most diverse in our history of It's Happening Out. First, let's welcome FayWhat. She is a radio and television personality and has a popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. I'm not quite sure why we would do that, but she's doing it. You've got to watch the FayWhat show, I guess, to learn why. It's the world's first LGBTQ morning show, Mondays at 9 a.m. online. And of course, the way you want to watch it is on your smart television. Welcome, Faye.
Welcome, everyone. I have nipple clamps, and I'm going to use them on certain parts of your body that you're not going to enjoy it, all right? Ooh. Buenas noches, everybody. So happy to be here. Still celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Yeah. Yes. And also LGBTQ plus History Month. Yes. And I can't stop looking at Auntie Maim's breasts.
Neither can I.
Thanks.
I'm most curious, what does Buenas noches mean? All right, next.
It means sex now.
It's a food group. All right, let's welcome Auntie Maim. She is a singer, actor, activist, podcaster, and of course, stand-up comic. She's the mother of the House of Yes! And did I do that right? House of Yes. Close enough. Whew, there's going to be a lot of reads tonight. And is also a well-known two-spirited, bearded drag queen. Good evening, Auntie Maim.
Good evening, Al. Good evening, everybody. Glad to see you. I'm glad you like my tits. Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, my milkshake brings all the boys to therapy.
I love it.
Exactly. All right, next, let's welcome Jonathan Casañas. He is a board member of Forward Miami, helps run the Gay 8 Festival, and is a promoter for events like Mega Wolf and Macho Party. Oh, those sound fun. Mm-hmm. Good evening, Jonathan.
Good evening. I hope you like my tits too. I think you can see them.
Yeah.
That's for everybody.
I just saw them.
Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that in your until you moved it. Yeah. Wow.
Well, they got the milk for you. So.
All right, I'm moving on. Next, let's welcome Elimination. He's a pansexual member of the kink and fetish community, an educator and community leader, and he was the founding president of Onyx Deep South and also represented our community at International Mr. Leather as Mr. Ramrod. Besides his charitable works, he also campaigns for self-acceptance with his I Am Enough initiative. Welcome, Elimination.
Hey there, kinky humans. How are you? How are you? This is episode 3, and I cannot believe that Al gave his wishes about the pearl necklace. Did y'all hear that in the very beginning? Yeah. So I was not gonna let that go by. Episode 3. Let's
You
get
specialize
down to
in
it.
black pearls, right?
That's exactly right.
Lots of colors
That's
in that.
enough of all of that. All right, next let's welcome Maxx Fenning. He is the founder and current president of PRISM, a nonprofit organization that works to expand access to LGBTQ+ inclusive education and sexual health resources for LGBTQ+ youth in South Florida. And Maxx is one of Florida's leading voices of opposition to Governor DeSantis's Don't Say Gay efforts. Welcome, Maxx.
Happy to be here as always, and I'm happy to further the gay agenda. I love standing on the shoulders of those that come before me.
What's going on with your hair, Max?
Hey, every time. I don't know.
Break them down so fast. You notice that? It takes like 3
It's like a
seconds, right?
house of cards collapse.
It's all a facade. I'm crumbling on the inside.
Got it?
Standing on that old house, you know, that's crumble.
Yeah.
I know,
That's
it's rickety. You want to talk about a house of cards? I mean.
No. It's Happening Out, as you know, is part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ media companies in America. Hotspots Magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ+ experience for 37 years, and Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ+ news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we are a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve our LGBTQ community. Okay, we've got all that out of the way, and I need a drink.
I'll be
Who's
back.
with
I'll
me?
be back. I'll be back.
Watch them
Thirsty.
pearls. Watch them pearls.
Right,
Watch them pearls.
exactly.
We hear it.
All right, let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. We have played this game since season 1, episode 1, and we invite you at home to play right along with us as I make 6 statements to our host. If they agree with the statement, they're going to take the shot. If they disagree, well, good Lord, it's going to be a long night for me. I'm just saying.
Yes.
All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
And let's play I'd Swallow That. I'd Swallow That is sponsored by the LGBTQ+ community's favorite spirit brand. We're very proud of this association. Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand and special sponsor of our nonprofit 501c3 efforts to educate, inform, and empower the LGBTQ+ community. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ+ community is. As our neighbors here in South Florida, Bacardi has been built on an enduring legacy of family. Sounds LGBT. Nurtured by 7 generations of the Bacardi family, they are the world's largest privately held spirits company, and Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ+ community with sponsorships, pride embracements, and deep and passionate support of our LGBTQ+ charities and causes. Bacardi began in Santiago de Cuba on February 4th, 1862. And it was from there that Bacardi revolutionized the spirits world, enabling the creation of an entire new cocktail category that created an entire culture of celebration. And isn't that exactly what the LGBTQ community is all about? And that's why tonight It's Happening Out plays I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. First up, credit cards. Credit cards can get declined for many reasons. A reason can be lack of funds, an error in the system, an error in the network connection, an error in your credit card issuer. He's frozen or she is frozen your card. Whatever it may be, Reddit's Ask Gay Bros has been discussing this of dating and credit cards. So, question number 1, and we're going to do it with a Bacardi Gold as our shot. I'd swallow that. I would die if my credit card got declined on the first date. Would you die?
Would I die?
No?
I would
Would I die?
No.
I wouldn't die. I mean, this is 2022. We've got Apple Pay. We got other ways to pay, right? We got to figure out another way to pay it. I'm not going to, I mean, you look wrong. You look wrong, but if your credit card is declined, right? But I mean, shit happens,
I
right?
mean,
I'm still sipping my shot as
see.
I watch
if my
you.
card
I
got
see.
declined, I would pull the same old thing you always pull, which, oh no, I'm having some credit issues. Somebody stole my identity. That's why I gave you my
Or you just
card.
be like, God, I go 10 miles down the street, and all of a sudden it thinks
It's
it's
a
fraud.
Right, exactly.
And that's not true.
Or you
It's-
can
you don't have money.
Just simply ask, what name is that on that card again? Let me give you another one. Bam.
There you go.
It's all good.
And that's what I did one time when I went on a first date. I used my ex's credit card because I still had it in my wallet.
Wait a minute, wait. You used your ex's credit card to go on a new date after you guys had been broken up.
Gay men want sex so bad, we're willing to do anything to get it.
Well, we were
anything.
technically still living together, but we weren't together.
Wow.
God, I wouldn't let you hold my billfold while going to the bathroom.
Gonna
All right?
say,
Without thinking you were
note
gonna
to
use
self,
my shit.
Jonathan Casañas is shady as all F.
Well, you know what? I never
got
pay.
cheated on, that's
so
what you get. You're
I don't got to
gonna
worry
pay
about all
for
that.
your
Oh,
meal.
oh, he cheated on you, so you used his credit card.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
But it wasn't declined.
It was declined though.
Oh, your
Yours
card.
got declined.
Ooh.
Well, good
I mean, I
backup.
had other
man.
credit cards, but I decided to use his.
Good backup.
So I'll drink to that. How about that?
So what if we do this though? Like, so I've had a date where I pre-booked, I did the Groupon already, so the date was already paid for to ensure that my credit card went out now.
Smart.
Elimination. You got a Groupon to take somebody to the
Absolutely.
restaurant.
And
And you
I
got
am-
20% off with a fucking new little
And
code.
happily said,
You know,
hey, use this to
I'm
pay
not
for
against
the
that.
date.
I'm not against
yeah.
On it.
Actually, that's funny. I read an
guess
article
that.
one time that it was kind of like a half and half split. Some people said, you cheap MF for using Groupon on the date, and half said, wait, I really, really love that you would plan so efficiently to get the best deal.
What? I don't want to date someone who wastes money when they
hold
could get a discount. Why would you do that?
Use
That's
that money.
stupid.
Wait,
Use that when you
remind
go
me
to
again,
Japan.
Max, how old are you?
20, but that's
Okay,
stupid.
that's a 20-year-old
Take
answer.
that 20%. Give me something later. Give
Again,
me a
we're saying the
dessert.
first date. The first date is like an interview process. You're trying to lay it out there and make yourself look
You know
better,
what?
that you make more money, that you have to say all these great
So-
things
Wait,
so they can
wait,
invite you
If your
to
way
dinner.
of saving money is taking me to McDonald's, that's one thing. But if we're getting the same experience
I mean,
for
if
less
I'm getting a
money,
20-piece,
that's
I'll still go to
efficiency,
McDonald's.
right?
20
Like,
piece.
I don't.
No,
But wait. If
McNugget.
you're going to use the Groupon, fair enough. But don't tell the person you use the Groupon.
Well, see, I'm
But you have to
authentic.
present it to the
you have to
server.
present
What,
to the
in a
server, and you got to
Groupon
be
form,
real.
or did you print it from?
No. So they want to check the validation of the code. And so again, we didn't say first date, so let's correct that. However,
Yeah.
it does take time. You check out a new restaurant,
Right.
you want to support someone
your
you
research.
haven't ever been. And so look, baby, I'm taking you to this place.
That
got
is
this
the
Groupon.
worst
Doing everything
coverage of
happen.
Groupon I have ever heard in my life. And by the way, if you went out with Max, that first date, it's really extra embarrassing of the credit card denial for Max when he takes you to 7-Eleven for dinner. I'm just saying.
Well,
All
McDonald's
right,
have been-
next up, American Horror Story, NYC. It has officially been confirmed. It will premiere on October 19th on FX and has a new set of sexy and spooky images. An Instagram image shows a muscle man on his knees wearing a fetish mask. Wait, that's half the cast sitting here at the table tonight. With a fetish mask with with giant antlers on it and a collar that comes. Wait, really? Isn't this? It's happening out. I'm reading about with the message that says, "Succumb to your primal instincts."
Yes.
Watch this. Question 2. With a Bacardi hurricane shot, I'd swallow that. AHS New York makes me realize that art, which is the principal theme of this season, is so sexy because it's scary.
Oh, I'm down.
What'd y'all think of the trailer?
So first of all, the arch on the promo photo, phenomenal. Also,
Oh, the woman, right? The woman in an arch with all the spikes.
phenomenal. Love that. Love the spine, breaking her spine for that one. But also,
Wait.
Her spine.
Breaking her back.
But literally throwing it back and breaking her back. But also, back when I was depressed, Faye knows this very intimately. Back when I was depressed, I posted a video on TikTok of me crying, and someone commented that that I sounded like Sarah Paulson screaming, and that cured my depression.
He did sound just like Sarah Paulson. He really did.
I don't know. It was uncanny.
It must be the hair.
Is this
I
still
don't
up?
know.
Must be there.
Or it used to be the hair.
Yeah.
So let me just put my Woody down.
Uh-oh.
Because the daddy and me loved that art imitates real life.
Yeah.
And this is all you, because this is like kink.
I
He's
know.
kink, like
Everything
screaming
about
kink.
that made me
Y'all,
realize it's a
y'all
person
aren't
who
seeing
loves
some of the
sensory
images that
play
we're showing.
and
but
love
the
impact
pictures
play.
are amazing.
I just want to recreate everything that I just saw. So follow me on elimination.com because you will see that real life happening.
I've done most of those pictures.
I have to tell you, and we're showing many of the pictures for American Horror Story New York. But I have to point out something to you. What you just saw was completely fake.
What?
It was created by Uber American Horror Story fan Drail, and that was completely created because American Horror Story has not put out a trailer.
Nope.
And he said, no, and he created his own
How
trailer.
dare you embarrass me on TV?
That's why I said it. I was like, oh, this is a nice little fan trailer.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
but-
okay.
okay, but-
Oh, wait, you said that?
No, I was thinking, and I was like, oh, cute little fan trailer.
By the way, this is television, so what's going on in your
I
head,
know.
nobody
It was
can
when the
hear.
cast, when the cast list was going on, I was like, wait, this is not the cast.
Okay,
'cause I
but
read
are
about
those
that.
cast members in this new American Horror? No, they're not. Okay.
No. That's how I knew.
Because I saw Kathy
That's how I knew that.
I was like, Kathy Bates still scares the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
Right?
Peters-
Like, I'm sorry,
Evan
Misery,
Peters is-
right?
Evan Peters is busy making gay people look like predators on that Jeffrey Dahmer show.
But I mean,
so-
again, I think it was just the way to out us again, just that show our pervertedness on Roku TV. So, oops. My name is Elimination, and I'm perverted.
Wait, but the pictures are real, yes? The backbreaking?
the
That
they're
either?
not.
No, the promo picture was.
the
promo
pictures
pictures.
that
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
showing are real.
Oh, okay.
All of the
spikes and all
bondage
that,
the
yeah.
spikes
Yes.
and the muscle boy, all of that is real. But there's no motion image
Okay,
yet
got it.
for American Horror
Well, I feel
Story.
better about that because the pictures are great.
And what's going on? Is Ryan Murphy getting lazy or what? We're sitting here on October 5th and there's no motion video
Ryan
of
Murphy
American
He
has
Horror
knows we're
Story.
waiting for it.
Ryan
That's
Murphy
why.
has like 12 things going on at the
Exactly.
same time.
He's
like,
doing the most.
He's literally just throwing things everywhere, and people are like, I'll take it. We'll
All right.
show
And
it.
this is the first
Eating
time
it
that
up.
it's set in New York, correct?
First time
Yep.
in New York. Yeah, the storyline is it's going to be amazing. Come on.
You've watched
We're-
all of them, and you're like
I've
super
watched
excited. I
every-
watched
Yeah,
the one with Lady
okay.
Gaga and Stevie Nicks and Billy
Hotel.
Porter, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with this shit.
Well, why?
Crazy white people shit.
Well, why?
Crazy white people shit.
One
Those
of the-
witches.
No,
One-
Don't
this
get that
one,
crazy
this
white
one with
people
the
shit.
antlers.
but-
This is the arch. Look at that.
Yeah.
It
look at
wasn't
this.
crazy,
Look at
but the voodoo season was awesome.
Oh, that was a good. The Coven season was
Coven
so
is-
good.
The witches.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Sylvester
Multiple
tore that
reviews
shit
Yeah.
have
up.
said that
Oh my
American
gosh.
Horror Story Coven is one of the 10 best single
Absolutely.
series.
Literally.
They're all amazing. It makes me feel really like uneasy, but it also like turns me on.
Oh, of course.
It's like when you walk in on your parents,
and-
but you still
and
watch,
at the end
and you're
of
like,
the
oh,
day-
I shouldn't be
wait,
watching
wait,
this.
Doesn't
I'm-
live
Hold on.
forever.
No, what?
Wait, what?
Has seen his parents have sex and sat there and gotten popcorn to watch.
That
You
explains
were
a
gonna
lot.
let us breeze right past
It
that.
explains so much.
that I've done it.
Well, then how would you know?
He's like, Mom, do you need poppers? Like,
Your parents don't have sex.
There you go,
I'm
Mom.
gonna,
You can take
you know, I'm
But you
gonna-
were worried
I-
if she was
You've
gonna
just
give
called me out.
permission for the
I'm going to
OnlyFans.
share this episode to your parents and ask them, is this true? Y'all don't have sex anymore? I'm
Señora,
going to ask.
embuste.
Mr. and Mrs. Casañas, you don't have sex? All right, we'll find out. Next, Grindr recently shared a video on their YouTube channel featuring 4 bisexual men. Wait, is that a thing? All right. 4 bisexual men trying the dating app for the first time. They spent some time setting up their profiles on video. And as expected, these guys were flooded with messages. Mostly photos. We understand what kind of photos they were getting from eager Grindr users. I'm just picturing
Whole
Max
pics.
sending all of these pictures to all 4 of them.
I don't share nudes
Wait,
on Grindr.
yeah,
I
okay.
receive love.
these guys enjoyed the pictures that they got. Of course, we know that not everybody would.
What do you think?
This guy's name is Looking to Suck.
To like someone's profile, do you just have to click the fire icon? Yeah, I've sent like 40 of them on accident.
This guy's cute.
What's dating like for you guys right now?
Nothing.
It's like super hard to find someone with similar interests without being a part of a club or a group or something like that.
Do you guys have any messages?
I just received a bunch of photos mostly.
Yeah, same.
I have one that just says, bye, you're cute.
Mine is, it just says, you want blowjob, bro?
What does it mean when someone just sends you a picture and it says, looking?
It's mean like, right now.
He's ready to get it?
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, this one's great. This one's just a picture of his ass. You said you were in asses, right?
I got some message from somebody I know and it says, come over.
Oh, God.
Did you know you can record a video message?
Wait, you can? Okay, who wants to be in this with me? Oh, cool. Okay, ready? Ayo! Woo!
He's gonna block you now.
Yeah, he's gonna block me.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna reply in like 12 seconds.
I'm gonna allow a reply though.
This person just sent me a message that says, what are you looking for? I'm gonna reply them back with, looking for someone to watch my kid when I go to the bar.
Oh my God, don't say that!
All right, question 3. With a Bacardi cola shot, I'd swallow that. Bisexual guys shouldn't try Grindr until they have more experience.
Oh,
shouldn't try.
Oh, no. Shouldn't try.
Well, first of all, the third one definitely has. Not to invalidate anyone's identity.
Wait, are you outing him?
Everyone has their time and place where they come out. It's an ongoing process.
Oh God.
But they're saying go on Grindr for experience. Isn't that what you gay boys do now
No,
for
yeah.
experience?
Yeah.
Just go on Grindr?
That's fair.
Why
Really.
not? I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
And isn't the biggest conquest for boys to get the straight man? So if the straight man sleeps with you, then doesn't that make him bi? What the fuck? Explain this to me. Do you understand?
Well,
so like,
I don't know. I just feel like this video is really embarrassing for bisexuals because already people say they don't exist.
Right.
But then they get the bad rep that they're whores because they want to fuck everything or everyone. Right. And then they look like my grandparents trying to get on Facebook in this video. It's just really embarrassing for them.
The way that
and I feel really bad for them. They're like, how do you post a picture? What the fuck? Like, it's really bad for them.
I also think that they were all like just one dick away from just going over the other side. I'm sorry, real cool. Clearly, the one said bottom. He just said, I'm all bottom energy, straight up the top.
Yes. No, he said it.
And so I welcome the opportunity to play. Everyone needs a safe play space. Right. However, be authentic in who you are, and be that person all the way around. Yeah. And I agree with you.
It may have been a casting thing.
But clearly it was.
Well, I mean, clearly it was. But at the same time, I mean, they did pick, at least visually, 4 very different looking guys to kind of, I guess they were trying to give us a scope of bisexual appearance, I suppose. Like it's the illusion of...
They're different in vibe.
Right.
But they all kind of blend together.
Well, I mean, that's how vanilla is. It's all one flavor.
I'm curious, of the four in the picture, which one is Max? Which one?
The one on the far right.
Yeah, there we go. We all said it in unison. All right,
he looks
let's
like
move
an
on.
alternative, like, he looks like, I don't know, he looks like he's in, what is it? Look at this photograph.
You look like Max if Max had knocked up a girl in high school. The result.
If Max knew how to use power tools.
First of all, I do.
If Max was a lesbian, he'd look like that. Got it. If Max was a lesbian, he'd look like number 4.
I already look like a lesbian.
All right. Max's parents watch It's Happening Out, by the way. All right, next. The goddess of pop. Who's that? It's Cher. Of course. She must have been feeling, particularly philanthropic this week when she decided to feed the fashion gays a surprise runway moment. She dropped into Paris's Fashion Week looking stunning as ever. She donned a tight black catsuit with platform wedges. No.
Was she worth it? Was she worth it?
think that's what it was.
It was bombing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was bombing.
Question 4. With a Bacardi lemon shot, I'd swallow that. It would be the moment of a lifetime if Cher surprised me at Paris Fashion Week's runway event.
At anything.
I mean,
if she came on-
freaking scared me in the bathroom, I'd be, it would completely change my whole world.
Yeah, I was like, it surprised me how.
Show up at the door with a knife.
Make my nipples hard. Yes, I'm surprised.
Yeah, murder me.
Murder me, Cher. Murder me.
Yeah.
Yes, murder me. Let me go on Facebook.
So she's, so with this, she becomes the new face and basically elbow of Balmain's new handbag, which costs millions of dollars probably. But I mean, like, how incredible was this for her to surprise everyone and get on the longest catwalk ever? You see how long that catwalk was?
Absolutely.
That was like that was like the tunnel to the to get to the heaven at the end when she goes and she murders you. That's what you see. That long ass runway to get to the afterlife.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said what did you say, Queen of Pop?
Queen of Pop.
Goddess.
This is where I'm at because I was on this show a long time ago shitting all over Madonna because of how Madonna tries and she's really not authentic to me. Right. She keeps it authentic, and that's the reason why people still like really enjoy when she comes out, even though she does 17 farewell tours, and I went to the last one, and I'll go to the next one. But it's because she's authentic to her goddamn self, not like Madonna.
And she keeps reinventing herself. I mean, again, another space, another opportunity for Cher to be Cher, to walk out and be seen. Yep. Again, I still think that's episode of plastic. That is so plastic right there. However,
I know this picture is so bad.
Designer, though.
And I love her. Again, I've always loved her from the moment that she came out and allowed herself to be her. Every time reinventing brand new.
Well, and she always like went to bat for our community, right?
Oh,
then
yes.
Then she has a child who's LGBTQ.
She went to bat before the child too, right? It's usually they have the child. She was doing bat before the child. So it's just.
You know, it's a reminder when she did this. My first thought when I saw her do this was,
I want those cheeks. Is that what you were saying?
No.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Cherish this moment because this is not, just the laws of life. She can't do this very much longer. We're going to lose Cher. We are going to.
Don't say that. We just lost Loretta Lynn.
I
She
know.
was like 90.
I know.
Cher's mother's like 90. Cher's mother's 96.
But
when I feel bad, just take all the vacuum out.
It's like Betty White. In this classification, Dolly Parton, every opportunity that we have to celebrate.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
We should celebrate because they're sharing with us another moment that we can share.
And that's an iconic.
But why? Why do you think they're doing it?
Well, first to stay relevant. I think Cher's staying relevant. Let me tell you a real quick story.
Coming out with an album?
Oh, please. Oh, I haven't heard that. Have you heard that?
No, I'm saying, why are you coming out?
Oh,
why
my God.
Can you believe remixed 100th time and still buy it?
Like Elton John
that
coming out with
would
Dua Lipa and Britney.
Fabulous. I was at a Cher concert, front row, in the Invitation.
Of course.
And,
of course.
Pick that up, Al. Pick that up.
Pick that one up.
I was sitting.
Did you want to name the
RuPaul?
person who took
I was
you?
sitting. Well, here's the worst part of it. I was sitting next to the Make-A-Wish child in the front row,
And they couldn't tell you apart. You couldn't.
You were the Make-A-Wish.
Oh my
God! To make a
You
wish.
could have left that out.
I know.
That was your own fault.
Well, the point that I was making is because I was sitting,
in the front row.
lovely child in the front row with the mother,
Yeah.
and I was with longtime person that I have been with for almost my entire life. At intermission, the handler comes and gets us, and we go backstage to meet her. And it was a very nice invitation. And the person that I'm with, who is a name related to RuPaul, that is a very famous name.
Of course.
And the person meets Cher, and Cher walks up and puts her hand out, and he literally almost falls into the floor. And this very loud, boisterous male version of you basically caves like a sack of potatoes. And it was so interesting. I remember it as clearly today as when it happened, in that she is so beyond, she's just a whole nother planet.
Well, and she smells divine. Okay, so she was in Miami Beach when Hillary Clinton was running for president. You guys remember that? And
Yes.
she was there at the Jackie Gleason, whatever it's called now, and she was presenting Hillary, right? So I got to meet her after that.
awesome.
And like when she gave me her hand, I kind of licked it.
Just a little.
And I kind of, because I thought of all of you.
Spitting
I thought of
on
all
it.
of you.
Yeah.
Can you
You had to
if-
share the
If
experience.
any of you ever got that moment, I was living for you at that moment. And I tried to smell as much as possible. Like, I get that in because I wanted to smell like Cher forever.
If I
Then when you breathe out,
Kind of.
Okay.
if you lick her.
Wait, the only thing that's important in that story that you just told is, did you trump my story on Cher?
I
Is that
kinda
what
did,
you
right?
said?
I thought it was complimentary.
All right.
It was
Wow.
complimentary.
And I had a Make-A-Wish child in my story. You only had Hillary Clinton.
Wow.
All right. So,
Emails!
exactly. All right. Just like LGBTQ plus on Wilton Drive, we seem to be taking a lot of shots here tonight. That's a joke about taking shots. Elimination knows what I'm talking about. Let's take a momentary break and hear from our sponsor, Bacardi Rum. All right. Well, welcome back. We're still playing our game, I'd Swallow That, and this is a fun one. Ryan Reynolds, he just had a colonoscopy. And Ryan being Ryan means he did it on camera as he lost a bet to Rob McKenney, his partner. Many applauded the actor for taking the step to raise awareness about the colonoscopy and the need for it and its benefits. I think we're going to show you a video of that.
Hey, Ryan, should we do this?
Let's do this.
Okay.
Hello there, I'm Ryan Reynolds, co-chairman of the Welsh football club Wrexham AFC.
And I am Rob McElhenney, also co-chairman of the Welsh football club Wrexham AFC.
You know, at the heart of all sports is competition. And Rob and I think, well, we're pretty competitive guys.
We're so competitive, in fact, that last year Ryan and I made a bet.
Did we? I don't remember that.
Nath Ryan betio vun un in ddimgali disgi Cymraeg.
Oh, you picked some up. Good.
Roedd o mor sicr dywedodd o byddai'n darlledu ei colonoscopy yn gyhoeddus os oedd o'n medru gwneud.
Yes. Yes, I did. Rob and I both, we turned 45 this year, and part of being this age is getting a colonoscopy. It's a simple step that could literally, and I mean literally, save your life.
So, can we see it now?
No.
Seriously, thank you for pushing me to do this. Can't believe you pumped all that aviation gin into my IV. That is out like a light.
This is the polyp. I just cut it off at the snare, and it's gone. You are interrupting the natural history of a disease, of something, of a process that could have ended up, developing into cancer and causing all sorts of problems. Instead, you're not only diagnosing the polyp, you're taking it out. So nobody would know that they had this. But he reached the age of screening, 45. He got a routine screening, and there you go. And that's why people need to do this. They really need to do this. This saves lives, pure and simple.
They didn't find Rosebud up there? My Rosebud was a sled I shoved on my ass when I was a kid, so.
Ryan Reynolds does ass jokes. I love it. All right, question number 5 with a Bacardi Old Cuban shot. I'd swallow that. Watching Ryan Reynolds having an anal probe makes my all-time top 10 list.
Listen, I thought that I loved Eric Cartman's anal probe back in South Park many, many years ago, but this trumps that, for sure.
It was a different kind of anal probe.
Yeah.
Faye. I don't know
this
if you
was a
remember.
longer anal probe.
This was longer, yeah.
Right.
They didn't use anesthesia on that.
Which Mint Mobile ad was this?
Yes, exactly.
I want to drink to this, but I didn't get to see it. He said he did a colonoscopy on camera. I didn't see it, and for that,
I mean, just take a big
you're
straw
out.
and look
You're
at
out.
that.
Wow.
So-
Wait, it wasn't worthwhile to seem so high at the end of it, still under the anesthesia, that he's talking about Rosebud?
Him and
Come on.
because him and the other one with Rob, I actually felt that Rob was even funnier under the anesthesia because he was sounding like a crazy person. But it was really, it's interesting because the two of them are so masculine, the peak of that it was very funny just when you see their friendship, because that's the kind of friendship you don't really get to see a lot of straight guys even have that type of friendship. So it's always, the whole thing's been really interesting.
Well, let's be real. It's not like they took a double-headed dildo. It's not that friendship. They were just like,
I
we
said
should
a
go.
friendship.
2
I
separate
did not
rooms,
say
2 separate
buddies.
doctors.
Oh,
like,
dear.
it's fine.
I know I wasn't the only one who imagined the doctor like going down there and yelled his name.
Exploring.
Hello. There was the echo in the hollow
mean,
cage,
you know.
so I can't be the only one.
Do you
who
know
imagined
they
it.
could do that? Have you seen those pictures?
What kind
Where
of porn are
they-
you watching?
Alex
afterwards?
definitely knows you can do that.
You can definitely do that, and you can definitely feel some J lube. You just go in and keep.
That's
it
how
going.
he knows that
Right.
it's too
Keep it
far.
going. Keep it going. But I will say this. This actually
Christ.
touched me, and I took a shot because
It
again,
touched you?
as a colon cancer survivor.
Oh,
That's
I didn't know
right.
that.
We have to make sure that we, all jokes aside, that we take our moments to take care of ourselves. Because our
Early
health is
prevention.
important.
Early prevention is everything.
Is clear.
Well,
and good. But at the same time, again, I still see that doctor playing around with it and see if he found his person.
Oh,
Don't you?
dear.
Right?
Of course.
I mean,
Straight
why
up.
not?
Pulling an Ant-Man.
Before we move on, one thing that I thought about when I watched this and what he's doing with the gin line, and Mint, you make the joke about Mint Mobile. I just recently read about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, arguably one of the greatest basketball players in history, all of the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that he makes in basketball. In his business endorsements since he retired from basketball, he's made $3 to every $1 he made in basketball.
Yep.
We are watching the exact same thing.
Well,
Everything that Ryan has done is going to be paled for his business decision making.
You know what just turned me on about that is that you actually know something about basketball, and I'm going to drink to
Yeah,
that.
okay. Well, you just needed an excuse. Got to move on. Got to move on. Sorry.
You knew Shaq's name and who
All
Shaq
right.
was, and now Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And confusing. I mean, that's that's impressive right there.
They're not the same.
Okay, all right. Finally.
Black guy looks like
Production just had their ears explode in me doing that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, this is not FayWhat. All right. Finally, Bros grossed $4.8 million at the weekend box office. $4.8 million. Despite projections that it was estimated to make between $8 and $10 million, Billy Eichner shared a Twitter thread that stated, though the film is well liked by audiences, it is getting rave reviews in Rotten Tomatoes, homophobia played a role in the film not making more money over the weekend. Well, we kind of wonder if that's really, it's that simple. Question number 6. With a Bacardi ginger snapshot,
Nice.
I'd swallow that. I'm shocked the LGBTQ plus community didn't come out literally for bros.
Not shocked at all.
Not shocked.
You're going to take a shot?
I'm
I mean,
shocked.
I'm just going to say, I didn't go see it, and I'll be very honest with you. I don't like Billy Eichner. I've never liked him. I don't think he's funny. I don't think any of his projects, I've never enjoyed any of them. So when the movie got announced, I was kind of like, I love it, but also like, I don't
But you wouldn't even see it just
You're
because
so
of the representation, or because
So homophobic of you.
Could production bring in the holy water? We're getting ready to have an exorcism.
I just don't. I know. I mean, because the thing is,
That's
for me,
fair,
is that
though.
like even like the clips I saw, right? And this is another one of my problems with the movie to begin with. Like the clips that I saw, I'm tired of
trope.
Not just tropes. I'm tired of lead white guys being the front of everything, and it made me. I think what turned me off the most was the scene in the trailer where all of them around the table arguing, and it was like, here's one group, here's one group, here's one group. It's like you're showing us all of these groups, you're showing us all the possibilities, but yet we're focused on this same story.
Well, that's a real thing. Did you watch Fire Island where there was an Asian American lead?
Yes.
You did, right? So the thing that is bothersome to people is that these are real. This is still a real situation. We're all still very segregated. Lesbians hanging over there, blacks hang over there. Even in Miami, like Cubans stand over here, Haitians stand over here. It's still a very real thing. So the fact that they're arguing at the table is just still very much representative of our social.
Isn't that mostly because we've been artificially pushed together? We need to create some representation that is greater than any individual representation. So we've pushed everybody together without working as hard to make sure that everyone is pushed together in a way that we all support each other.
Well, that's the problem, the artificial part, not the real part. And I'm with you. I did not go see the movie. Kudos for you for organizing a watch party, but it seems so fake. It seemed not real. It seemed.
But give it a chance, Elimination.
And so the question was the LGBT and LGBTQ coming out. Well, you can't ask all of us to come out if you're not featuring all of us. Don't give us the token the token person there, and featuring the same white-centered story.
Okay, but that wasn't the case. You didn't watch the movie.
But you didn't
So
watch
the
it.
movie, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you didn't watch it.
Sorry about that.
I watched the promo.
There was black and brown folks in there. There was triples. There was drag. There was trans. There was bi.
And who was centered?
The man who made the movie, Billy Eichner, was the center.
Yeah, but
and that's never been done to have a gay rom-com. That's never been
Right,
done.
we're in the infancy
so
stages.
you're gonna like, oh, I'm not seeing myself, so I'm not gonna go support.
It's not
That's
that.
why we don't get ahead in our community.
No, it's
because
not
we're like,
that.
nope, I'm not represented. I'm not represented.
Wait,
I'm not
wait,
represented
hold
enough.
on. That's not true, because technically, I mean, let's be very real here, right? We've had non-rom-coms, we've had dramatic queer representation. I didn't see the queer community running out for midnight. In fact, I saw the opposite, and we have a movie that won the Best Picture at the Academy Awards. So it is literally we are holding up one specific thing when there have been other things.
Not this big.
But wait a minute, because
Not this
Midnight
big.
did very well thereafter. It didn't hit the box office that hard, but it did well thereafter.
Yeah.
And
And
this
maybe
is gonna be a slow burn as well. But you can't deny that this is still very fun that we have this kind of representation, whether they're white or not. Because eventually we will have a black lead in
When
the
does eventually come? That's the problem that I have. When does eventually
this
come?
just
when the country shows that money will be given to that kind of a film.
You know, I put myself in producer straight role in Hollywood. Would I invest in exactly what you want? Absolutely not. And the reason is because I would hold this up to say, this is why I can't do it. Because it's like being
wasn't supported.
It's a bad roulette game.
Yep.
I can't put it on red or black because I am going to lose a lot of money.
Millions of dollars. I'm gonna lose it because you want to
I
see
just
it. Yeah.
can't. There's no way I'm going to invest in this because this community is not going to support. You know what's interesting to me? If this would have been a Medea movie, if it would have been one of the movies that he has produced, which I think he borders on genius at times for the black
And maybe he
community. Well, when he comes out, he will, and that's a joke.
It is a joke.
Based on reality, but go on.
Okay,
Based on reality,
but my
go on.
point is, if that was a movie that he had produced, Oprah would be jumping on it, and the black community and the black church would be jumping on it, and it would have a $22 million opening weekend because the black community would say, "This is important for our community. I support it."
But do you think
we don't do that in our community?
But do you think it was a countrywide
Yes.
neglect, or do you think it was
Everywhere.
LGBTQ? Right.
And
I don't want to blame it.
People were expecting for girls to bring their straight boyfriends to this movie.
Yeah.
Hazme el favor. There is no straight boy that's going to go with
Pero,
his
Nina,
girlfriend.
You said that last week. What are you talking
But
about?
it's the truth, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really is. You're not
I'm gonna go
get
see
that-
it tonight. I was just late because I partied way too much last week. I'm going to see it tonight.
You're gonna like it. You're really going to
but
like
here's
it.
the thing: is I'm tired of Hollywood putting up like the more palatable version, right? Like we always see that it's like whoever is closest to the center in all of these marginalized groups, whoever's the least marginalized is the one who's gonna get that
Max, is
representation.
it possible
over and
for
over and
both
over.
observations to live in the same space?
I-
Wait,
but
let me
we
finish.
see-
What you just said is true, and Al, as producer in Hollywood, is not going to invest in it. Both can be
right,
true.
exactly.
I agree with you, but I'm not going to invest in it
Like,
because I'm not
I
going to
think
be the
I haven't
trailblazer
seen the movie.
to risk my
I might have
money.
been more likely to go out and see this if there wasn't like the same thing that we always see over and over again. Sure, rom-com format's new.
Sure,
newer,
but you're setting
But I
the
see
standard.
we have Love, Simon. We have
Yeah.
all of these other queer movies that have consistently had white
But Max,
people.
you're
at the
only
forefront.
proving their point, right? You not going and spending money is telling producers.
There it
okay,
is.
We can't do that.
Because they need something
Once again,
new,
like,
and
as a
it's not
producer,
good
like,
enough.
Love
If we're gonna-
Simon did very, very well financially in terms of its funding, but there was a kiss. That's the only
it.
thing. It's
It wasn't
implied.
sold as an
implied.
LGBTQ plus
It-
movie.
It
Once again,
happens to
as
have.
a producer, right? If we're going to talk about being a producer, as a producer, if I was going to launch a venture like this, I would use a much more bankable star than Billy Eichner.
Yeah, but you
that
have to
was-
pay for
And
it.
that was his own vision. And look, we're always bitching at this table saying, oh, it's bad when they use straight actors to depict gay roles, right? In Bros, it was gay actors playing the straight roles.
Right.
It was
Let me ask you this.
amazing.
How did they market to someone like me? The first episode, the first picture is a white guy talking about saving the world at the LGBTQ center, and his experience with the muscle white guy.
Elimination.
And the party scene with the muscle
I
white
get it.
guy.
I'm moving faster.
Okay.
The answer to that is their expectation is that the LGBTQ community, exactly Faye's point, will support that even if it doesn't get what you're asking for, because it's an LGBT story. There was no.
There was one lesbian, and I still went there to support my community.
Yeah.
There was one lesbian that didn't look like me. They used the ugliest woman ever on the face of Everest to represent my letter in the acronym.
How about this though?
Yeah, I still went.
Was it good and funny?
It was really well written, John.
That's the
You'll
thing.
laugh your ass
Like,
off.
why are we shitting on something that's actually good content?
Because I'm not in it. Because I'm not in it.
But what you're saying now, though, is different, right? No, what you're saying now is
Yes,
clear.
you
If
are.
a person tells me, right, if I hear from somebody that I respect, it's funny, the writing is good, things like that's very different than the first weekend it coming out.
That's very
right?
different from a
And
trailer.
so,
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's the
Fair
thing.
enough.
If I'm sitting, because remember, first weekend you're basing it on the trailer. You're basing it all. If a friend of mine, if any of you say,
Okay,
"Oh my
I
gosh,
think
it's good,"
that's
it's funny.
I think that's
right?
fair.
Which is,
Yeah.
and that trailer's
and that's
what?
what,
It's
and
a
that's
bunch of white
why
actors.
I don't like
Like-
opening. I really don't like opening weekend types of. Like, I know that they have to issue statements and things like that, but the reality is, and this is actually very prominent in our community. Our community doesn't do things homogeneously. A lot of the things that happen in our community, they do it based on word of mouth.
But isn't that
I'm okay with
the
that.
point of this conversation? If it was just black gay men, you have no chance. If it is just white lesbian women, you have no chance. If it is just bearded drag queens, you have no chance.
You might have a chance.
So as a result, no, none.
But those people.
The only way that we elevate ourselves is we collectively say, I understand your story and I'm going to support it regardless. I understand your story and I'm going to support it regardless. I'm going to understand your story and I'm going to support it regardless. And therefore, all of us do that. The point of this opening weekend is we don't do that.
But we've been supporting that narrative. Let me ask you this. So in the promos, T.S. Madison is in the movie, right?
Yes.
So is she on Good Morning America? Is she out there doing interviews? Are they putting her front forward?
They
to allow that
absolutely are.
So let me say. So if they are, I'm happy. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
All I saw was that one character and those one episodes and those marketing talking about that one specific thing. Now I agree with you. I might take your word and say I might go visit it. However, on first glance, all I see is what I always see in any movie.
I compare
always,
and
all the
contrast
time.
your observation of the observation I've
Because I
already
haven't
made.
seen T.S. Madison
If
anywhere
this
publicly.
weekend of Bros would have been a Tyler Perry film, in a black-centric Tyler Perry film, this outcome would be different.
Because we have people in that characters we identify with. We have that mother. We have that person. We have that lived experience.
But wait,
Yeah, but it's
hold
mostly,
on.
it's mostly black.
Wait. This is actually apples versus oranges.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
If we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
comparing it to a community, Tyler Perry has a following that he's built up over like 25 years.
Where do we
of
start?
He started doing local
Where
theater
do
first.
we
No,
start?
where does LGBT
T.S.
start?
Madison
But I'm saying,
is in
we're-
this representing. Some people wouldn't even understand. Is this a drag queen? I don't understand. This person is trans? I don't understand. Who cares if you understand? You are embracing Madison's embracement in the movie.
She's not getting any kind of footage on the forefront to allow her to show her
There's
talent.
no one in the LGBTQ community that doesn't know who Madison is.
She's not on Good Morning America.
I haven't seen
She's not
T.S.
on
Madison
CBS
do any
News.
advertisement
they're
for
not
this.
pitching this at Good Morning America. They were pitching it as
He was
To us.
He was on.
They're
They were pitching it
it
to us, and we're not picking it up.
and we're not
and we're
picking
not.
it up.
But again, if you want, marketing says when this gentleman he was on CBS Mornings, and he talked about this being the first gay rom-com. Why not include all segments of this movie or parts of it so that way?
White
he can get marketing.
America doesn't want to listen
the
and
thing.
see Madison.
That's the thing.
They're not going to do it.
So you
It's
just
back
mad
to
at
my
me that
point.
Black America doesn't want to support
That's
white
the thing,
America.
No,
because they're doing it in
I'm
a
not.
homophobic
You're
way
doing it
where
in a
you're-
homophobic way.
Right.
That's nothing about what I just said was homophobic.
It most certainly
What I
is,
said was,
because
I didn't
if it's
see
not
my
our
kids out
individual brand, I don't identify with it, so therefore I'm not going to open my money, my wallet, and
plenty
spend
of
the
other
money.
It's
movies
not an
that don't
individual
represent
brand.
your-
It has
No.
nothing to do with the brand.
Yeah,
It has to do with if I'm going to take money out of my wallet. Number one, I want to be entertained by something.
Yes.
If, and like I said, this is my own personal opinion. If I legitimately don't like the star of a
Wait,
movie,
let me give you an example.
Okay.
On Queer News Tonight last week, I think you were sitting there. We reported at Queer News Tonight that the radical right was review bombing Bros. And they, without having seen it, they were going into Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb and writing horrible review after horrible review. Why? Because they don't want anybody to see it.
Because they're haters.
They're haters.
It still didn't matter.
How is the difference? They actively didn't support and hate the movie, and we inactively hate and don't support the movie.
And
What's
they
the
almost stopped
difference?
playing the trailer in certain areas of the country, and they forced them to. Contractually, they had to. But if not, they wouldn't have shown it in Middle America.
We have to have a Billy Eichner and a McFarlane to put it front and
But
center.
we've been seeing queer movies for.
Well, what movie are you going to give me? Brokeback from a million years ago? What are you giving me?
I'm saying
Have you
Love
seen a movie-
Simon.
have
First
you
of all, Love
seen any
Simon
other
definitely
movie
was
that
marketed
is
as an
not all
LGBT film.
African
It was an
American or
LGBT
Native
book,
American?
and it was an.
Hold on, guys. Everybody's talking. Hold on. Everybody's talking.
You were tokenized in Love Simon. Love Simon is a
Right.
terrible movie.
It is.
And
it
the
is.
reason
but
it's
but what I hate about
how
Love
can
Simon.
you defend
what
it
I,
then?
But I'm not defending Love Simon. What I'm saying is, Love Simon was a tokenization. They were like, we're going to take the most palatable queer story that we can. This is our experiment for getting queer stories out into the
Michael,
big box.
You have to start at 1.0. You can't show America 4.0 LGBTQ.
But to Elimination's point, when does the next step come?
The
right?
fact
when do you
it
get to that
came
point?
Friday
This was our first
night.
step.
Michael
We're trying.
Eichner
We're
does
trying.
I
scenes
respect that.
with McFarlane where they talk about the anal sex. They show a blowjob with 4 people. You don't see the actual blowjob, but you know exactly what's happening. They joke with each other of going, McFarlane is the masculine top and Eichner is the feminine bottom. Until McFarlane goes, I think I'm ready for you to top. You don't see that in Brokeback Mountain. You don't see that in Love Simon. He experimented beyond experimentation. And the thing that totally pisses me off is none of us know that.
No, and he even says, like, I'm tired of movies where they have gay characters, but they don't show the kiss. The moment they go to kiss, they pull away and frame out to another.
There it is. And if this was Tyler Perry and it was a black theme or it was an X theme or a
But it's
white theme,
different.
no, I'm not going to stop.
You're gonna-
And the reason
you're
is
bringing color
because
into it, and that's totally different.
it
than
is
the
not. Why is it different?
I'm gonna tell you why.
How do you not represent?
Wait,
how are you
I
not
want to hear this in
representing
3
it?
sentences.
Because you
Why is
said
it different?
A color thing. LGBTQI is made up of so many different melanins. And so the fact that you're only segmenting the black folks out of this LGBTQ and then now comparing us is unfair.
Your
But why aren't you-
analysis,
but
your
you said-
analysis is incorrect.
Because
And the
you just
reason
said
your
you
analysis
said you
is
didn't watch the
incorrect
movie.
is you're never going to get what you want. There is no movie ever in history in the future that I can see that is going to focus on a black love story because 2 gay black men is not
So there was a
financial
whole movie
bankable.
based on,
But then why
I
didn't
think
you
it'll
see?
come.
Hold
I
on.
just don't know when.
But then why didn't you
I think
see
it'll
this
come.
movie?
I personally do think-
2046.
Like this is the saddest piece. Of this
RuPaul is not bankable.
But this is the problem, right? This is, once again, we are in, if you look at the table, Al, we are talking about a very specific line in the sand right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you just identified the line in the sand.
Yes.
So when you're talking to 2 people like us, and you're saying, out of your mouth, you will never see this. You can understand from our
The
perspective.
disappointment is different. I do.
No, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute.
Let her finish,
Can I have
please.
the
Let her
table?
finish.
Can I have the
But-
table
but,
real quick?
but here's the thing, right? So when you say that, we are not saying we're not giving it a chance. All we said was, and that's how this entire conversation started,
all right.
was
Heard.
didn't go the very first weekend because we were waiting to see.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
And it has evolved into a statement like that, which, let's be very honest, is quite problematic to say.
Because
to
we'll
say
say
that you will never see
because
that.
the reason why I got hyped up as well was because you said you didn't want to see it because it didn't have your representation.
That's what I heard too.
Right.
That's what I heard.
No, not my representation. I said I only see one specific lead representation.
She doesn't like Billy Eichner.
Got it.
And
Wait,
that would be
got
a
it,
reason
got
not
it,
to go
got
see
it,
a movie
got
if you
it.
don't like the guy.
That makes sense.
And
That
so
makes sense.
go back a second. When I said we talked about it. I know TS Medicine is there. I know the other fashion person is there. So I know black folks are in there. They're in the park and they're fighting, and then the rugby people come over. There's a black person there. I know that. But my story is what I did not see in all the trailers. That's what I.
No, there was not a black Indian kink leather boy. No, there wasn't from South Florida. No, there wasn't. There wasn't. I'm sorry, right?
That's living on Willow Drive.
Again, I do want to go back a second. So that's the question. That's the thing that we need to leave this conversation with. Understanding what me not seeing that and then comparing it to a whole race of people supporting a race of people is very problematic.
It's a different issue. And the other thing, but the other thing though, is when you say this is never going to happen, or this isn't going to happen for 15 years. If you know that then it doesn't become a first step. This becomes it's just in a continuous cycle of one community, part of my community.
There's someone. One last thought.
Over and over again. It's never going to get to me. Why would I give it a chance? It's never going to get to me.
Yeah.
We make a decision that our community, and an acronym that has been artificially pushed together, stands up for ourselves universally. I'm at unfortunately, privileged white is at the top of that pyramid in terms of influence and power and voice. Clear. But if everyone inside the walls of LGBT artificially pushed together, do not stand up and unite for each other, the haters that are the real haters, it's not the L's, and it's not the G's, and it's not the bisexuals, and it's not the trans. It's outside that acronym that are the real haters. And the proof of that is the front pages of Forbes and New York Times is bros bombs. You're never going to recover from it. Mm-hmm. Go to the movie, but the movie's never going to recover because the damage is already done. LGBT is a failure in entertainment, and every major media outlet, Google it. Google bros financial results, and you're going to read 100 stories saying, see, this risk should have never been taken.
And they'll never
Mind you, it's been out 5 days. It's been out 5 days, all right?
I'm just telling you, opening weekend.
And I think that corporate America is well aware that the LGBT community has a lot of buying power. I think they're well aware of that.
Well, that's the sad part. We have
Max,
billions
I'm telling you,
of dollars.
if my money was in Hollywood, there would be no way that I would do it.
But just find the right recipe, because at the end of the day, we did not get to where we are, where we talk about me personally, where a black leather person can be a black leather champion had it not been for someone taking the risk of being that one. So sometimes you have to take that risk over and over.
And Billy Eichner was.
He did.
That's fine, but find
$30 million.
Find the right recipe.
And we're all willing to dismiss what I just said. It's $30 million.
I'm not dismissing it.
But we're talking about supporting each other in this community.
I know how much that is for a movie studio to do. However, I also know that movie studios spend $30 million on shit. Or movie studios.
Catwoman.
Not even Catwoman. A movie. We just watched Cats.
Right.
We just watched Warner Brothers literally take an $80 million movie and they just put it on a shelf.
Nope.
So it's not that I'm not discounting that.
Yeah.
But much like I'm saying, there are lessons here, right? And part of the lesson is that we are not a homogenous group, and so part of this.
Now that's the real.
That's the lesson. We're not a homogenous group. And you have to remember, and I think that's why it's so, when we touch spaces about things like Tyler Perry and whatnot, I can tell you that is a much more homogenous group. Black church-going people, they identify with everything going on.
If that's true, I've got to move on. If that's true, I've got to move on. If that's true, then back to, well, we probably in any short order will never see what we want, because we will never be able to command enough power and influence to accomplish anything else. Eichner and McFarlane and Universal Studios spending $30 million couldn't do it. And so as a result, I'm sorry, there's not a great lesbian love story rom-com coming, because you can't make it financially successful. There's not going to be a black leather kink movie coming because we can't do it. And first and foremost, I'm only suggesting we can't do it because we won't even stand for ourselves, much less all the haters are outside of our acronym. That's my only point here. My only point. Okay, next up, wow, did we go?
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Wait,
beyond.
Wait, all right.
I need more alcohol. A League of Their Own, anyone?
Okay, all right. Next up, that's our segment. I'd swallow that. Next up is a segment we call the best thing of the week. Twitter users have found the funny in OnlyFans. Is OnlyFans funny?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Can be.
OnlyFans
You
culture
on OnlyFans is funny.
Can be funny. Oh, all right. Wait, I'm getting ready to show somebody that we found in OnlyFans this week, and No.
Oh,
You're
thank
okay. I saw your face.
Oh,
I
shit.
saw your face.
Ready.
Wow,
Mostly because
Jonathan,
it's
ready.
true.
Ready, bro.
The funny and OnlyFans culture is real, and we've reflecting it in tweets referencing everything from JFK to Spider-Man, Winnie the Pooh, Animal Crossings, to those very common OnlyFans and bio cutouts. And we're showing you some of the images. What do we think about OnlyFans? Is it funny? It's
A moneymaker is what it
It's-
is.
A lot of my friends make money, so.
one of them that we're showing you is
I got through COVID.
only right. It's financial.
Pay my bills, right?
I hear that. I hear that. The one that I saw, the one tweet of OnlyFans stands in solidarity with RuPaul's Drag Race because we're taking the drag out of RuPaul. You know, that's funny.
And the premise of that joke is what? They were going to take away the sex
They were
from
gonna take
OnlyFans,
sex.
right?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Why would
So
you
you're
go to
taking the drag out of
OnlyFans?
RuPaul.
See, I got a friend who eats on OnlyFans. She just eats cheeseburgers all day, and she makes a shit ton of money just eating cheeseburgers. It's not a pretty sight.
Yeah.
That's my
I've
plan.
had brunch with her. It's not pretty, but she makes a lot of dough. I mean,
That's my plan.
Like, guys don't
That's
make
my
the same
plan.
kind of money for that.
There's a niche. There's a niche. And so therefore OnlyFans, and the joke is, there's a niche for it. So why not go there and sell your niche?
Yeah, and I think OnlyFans are, you know, these types of platforms are going to be the future. If like Beyonce wants to put an exclusive album or an exclusive concert or performance, I think they're going to start going here so that they can show regular content, but then pay $39.99 to watch me sing Halo, you know, acoustically on the toilet.
eating a cheeseburger.
I seriously think this is going to be the future of our world.
This one is hilarious. I thought Winnie the Pooh had an OnlyFans account.
Oh my
Yeah, whoever puts that on OnlyFans needs to go away.
All right. Well, we think that it's the best thing of the week. Anyone here at the table on OnlyFans today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Elimination's like, yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. We're going to find it. We have a crack investigative team working on Maxx
I'm gonna
Fenning
take these
right
fake
now. And
jokes
I'm pretty
over
sure we're going to find it. But
You know, I
would love to
actually,
motorboat
you know what's
those.
fun? Is I actually do have one. There's just nothing on it.
you
mean
have an
there's nothing?
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
And there's nothing on
Well,
it?
'cause
Yeah,
you've
I
subscribed?
made it, and then I was like, and that was like 2 years ago, and then I
Wait,
never posted
wait,
anything on it.
18. Why would you make an OnlyFans account?
So originally, I think I was teasing the idea, and I was like, oh, I'll use this to raise money for Prism, and then I was like, that's not a great look for a youth org, and so I just never posted on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Is it bad to be on a board or to work in an
Wait,
organization?
we get to the judgment, right? Even in
Yes.
this conversation, it's like you haven't done anything. Nobody's done anything wrong. Great. But we have this little subtext going on of it's unseemly or whatever. Why? Who taught us that it's unseemly?
Because we live in a puritanical country that anything related to anything adjacent to sex is bad.
Well, and let's think about it, all the sex workers that are in our LGBTQ plus community. This gave them the ability to reach to more people and pay their damn bills.
Literally.
Okay?
And the fact that we criminalize our sex workers and we don't accept that that's a real job.
That's your body.
And the fact that someone's taking autonomy and ownership of their moneymaker.
Yeah.
and
Well, it's
we not
different when you're
support-
like having actual sex, and then you could be spreading diseases or stealing money. Here, this is definitely more responsible and.
If you want to sit
And safer.
and watch a
safer.
woman
Yeah, safer, but
eat
all that's good.
cheeseburgers,
Oh, yeah.
and that's your,
Oh, yeah, she makes
if that's
loot,
your
Al.
kink.
No, wait till
market.
you see
People
my
will go.
first
People will go.
OnlyFans.
Hey, extra mustard.
Yep.
More pickles.
It's a huge market.
I'll put mayonnaise. I'm gonna put mayonnaise on my
Yes,
belly.
it's a
And
huge
just,
market.
I swear to God, and I mean this in the best possible way. I want to meet the people that are asking for the extra mustard, or because I'm fascinated with that person.
do they have that, by the
Yeah.
way? Do they have
That's
like
what you
where you
just-
can like suggest things while you're live?
You're talking live.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, no
What
way.
would you ask?
I have oodles of friends. in
Not
OnlyFans.
Oodles?
Really?
Is that a lot?
That's
What is that?
means
What
a
is-
lot.
what does that
Y'all would be
mean?
shocked. I
wouldn't
have
be.
friends that
I
have made.
You better
Yeah.
stop. You better
Yeah.
stop inspiring me.
and they are doing all kinds of things. And you participate in OnlyFans. You can see a lot of it in a secondhand way. I've told this story. I have friends that have shared and said, "Oh, well, watch this content," and I'll go in and watch with others that are doing it. And the people that are participating are asking very.
Do you do circle jerks? Is that what you just told us? That you do
No,
circle
he
jerks?
did it behind the camera.
Don't judge
he does-
me.
he does
Don't
noodles.
judge me. Wait. I was
Watching party.
No,
Watching
no,
party,
I,
right.
no, I'm director. All right. Next up,
Thought so.
TikTok has become the top source for viral content on the internet. You can find everything from recipes, guides, and vacation clips, and a lot more. And nothing says vacation like a cruise on a new brand, Virgin Voyages. Virgin has been an iconic supporter of the LGBTQ plus community, and now Virgin Voyages brings that to an entire new level as your #1 choice for an LGBTQ plus vacation experience. Value is the word here, and value is what they deliver with being an adult-only cruise. Wi-Fi is included, all food from 20 plus eateries included, tips included, group workouts included, and essential drinks included. It's all about value. And their values are also self-evident. Virgin Voyages fights for equality and the right to be seen, heard, and included. So, whether an LGBTQ plus cruise, a charter, Pride Month celebration, or countless sponsorships of our charities and nonprofits, this is why Virgin Voyages is part of our best TikTok of the week. So, each week we show our favorite TikTok video, and this week our best TikTok is called George and June, a 50s couple, from user @VincentMarcus.
Well, you're not in your uniform, Barnaby.
That's true. Apologies.
That's better.
Are you adjusting your outfit? It's quite warm out here.
Yes, let's go look at him. Look at that.
Yes, look at that.
Wow. Perhaps you could show me.
June, you can learn a new trade, and Barnaby, we can save cost on labor. I can do that. That's a great idea.
Barnaby, this is really informative.
I commend you on your form, sir. Thank you, Mr. George. Yes, sir. June, make sure to get a good grip on that pole, dear.
Oh, yes, I'll hold the pole.
Yeah. This pole right here, Miss June.
Right, this
Right there.
pole.
There you go.
Wow.
Barnaby, perhaps I should learn how to clean the pool as well, sir. Yes, Mr. George. Come on over. Behind you. Oh, right. Yeah, right here. Oh, okay. Oh. It's all in the hips. Oh, all right. Well, June?
Yes,
Why don't you do me a favor and go make supper? Barnaby and I will be in a moment.
All right.
You have a deep stroke, Barnaby.
George!
Get back inside, June.
All right.
Back and forth, Mr. George. Back and forth, indeed. A little faster. Oh. Oh, dear.
What do we like about TikTok?
I love this video. After I saw this video, I told my wife that we needed a hot pool girl.
Yes.
She said we needed a pool first, but that's okay. That's all right. I thought the video was super cute.
Baby stuff. You bring in the pool crew to build the pool, and then you pick one out. Right. Yeah. I love anything 50s aesthetic, and for me, I love this video. I saw it when it first came out too, but it's really funny because anytime you watch old movies like that, there's always this weird subtext a lot of times, and it was really fun to watch them like reenact that because it goes that extra mile.
I'm curious, do any of you, I'm not a TikToker, do any of y'all think that this is a gigantic waste of time?
TikTok or the
In
video?
what regard?
A little of both. No, this is a good video. I appreciate it. I enjoy the video.
You've
but
never-
just in general.
You've never gone down a spiral of
I-
TikTok, have you? Everybody at the table has.
It's a
We've
rabbit
just,
hole.
Been late to doctors' apartments. We've left our loved ones somewhere and forgot to pick them up because of a spiral that happens
Now,
when you get on TikTok.
You're in sobriety. I would just point out to you that observation, because I've heard it repeatedly, I acknowledge. But I've heard this observation repeatedly. And if this was drugs or alcohol, I would say, wait, we've got a problem here that we have to really address. Because everyone that's a TikToker goes, oh, you go down this hole and then 5 hours later you're,
But I don't.
wait.
I don't personally. So, I don't fall in the hole. I've never really gone into a spiral. I'll watch a few videos, but the thing is that I have friends like that. I don't understand, and I've never understood why a medium like that, or I think about some of my friends with kids that are on YouTube all the time, right? They talk about it in this very odd, despairing way, and I'm like, but you do realize that you'll sit for like 5 hours and watch like The Office for like, 10 episodes of The Office.
Yeah.
Like, you'll do the same thing.
Oh, don't you dare criticize me for Game of Thrones.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's
No,
literally
but
it's the same exact thing. Like, it's very funny that these mediums that we have, it's like, it's okay to binge watch over here. It's not okay to binge watch over here. This way is a waste of time.
Well, the thing is that they're in short stints, right? You're not sitting and marathoning Game of Thrones. They're like, sometimes they're 7 seconds to a minute. So you're kind of constantly being stimulated by something different.
It's the rush. It's that rush of seeing something new and that rush of saying, oh, I didn't see this one. ooh, let me
And
feed
then you're
myself.
hooked.
And then you're hooked.
And then
because
you're
It's the
hooked.
new rush. It's that new thing. And first off, so 50s is never my favorite genre, but did y'all see the face of when he got poked by the pool man? That was the moment.
This is my favorite porn, by the way.
That was the
This
moment
is
when he got
everything
poked.
And
to me.
define that for us. I heard you say that when we were watching it. Define
Like,
porn.
I'm not bisexual in the slightest. I've had sex with women, but there's something about the husband being involved in when the wife is with not a mistress, but with a stranger.
cucking.
It's cucking, which cuckold on Pornhub or X Times, if anybody wants to find it.
Number
It's all
2,
there.
search.
Yeah,
Pornhub.
No. It's
It
all
is?
my history. Is
He is like a million of those
Yeah, he's the
searches.
reason why it's number 2.
That rush, right?
Wow.
He's like,
For
"Those are my
some
history."
reason, I like when there's a man involved with someone's husband and wife. It's incredible to me. But
why?
But I don't know why. I think it's because I know that it wasn't really meant to be this homoerotic situation. It just so happened to be.
So he's
why
a straight
not?
guy that goes, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, or the wife is like, suck. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, she says what?
Suck his dick. How about that?
Got it.
Just say it
All
out loud.
right.
But do you know the thing about TikTok?
settled.
The other rabbit hole that I think needs to be addressed sometimes is I'm a creator, right? I used to do a lot, especially during COVID times, on TikTok, and you get really caught up in that hype where you need the likes, you need the engagement, you need more content. So every day I was creating videos, and every day I was involving people, including my boyfriend, who sometimes would be into it, sometimes he'd be annoyed. And you could see that through the video. And that creates the spiral, but on the other end, one person is constantly scrolling through TikTok, the other person is trying to find the next video that they can create.
And last week I deleted TikTok for the first time since I downloaded it like over a year ago. I mean, I re-downloaded it 2 days later. Like I don't need a blast right now. Like,
So you don't.
I was like, I'm going on a cleanse, and then I looked in the mirror 2 days later, and I was like, I look really hot. And I need to post a video. And then it ended. Like
2 days.
days.
Yeah, and then I posted like a really shameful video. I was like, I'm sorry that I'm back already, but look at how cute I look.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't matter now because now Instagram is TikTok too. So it's
Yeah, but the
everything
thing is,
TikTok.
but we talked about this in the
Reels
first
on
episode.
Facebook or TikTok also.
But we talked about this in the first episode. Instagram Reels algorithm is terrible. Like I hate everything that I see in Instagram Reels. I swipe through 3 videos and I'm like, absolutely not. It's like the same thing.
Oh man, you
over
should
and
just go to
over
my
again.
page. I have one huge long name. Anyway,
we gotta-
nice plug. Did I just drop that?
That's on
One
OnlyFans.
last
One
question.
huge long
One last
name.
question about TikTok is, I make the joke about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is just beyond in terms of quality. You're sitting there for an hour. Okay.
Sorry, never
But
watched one episode and never will.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
go for it.
insert hold on. Insert your favorite show, whatever it is. You're watching an hour, and the quality of the favorite show is the quality. TikTok's not that. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, whatever it is, and you're consuming and consuming and consuming. Is TikTok teaching us to just only pay attention just like that and then move on to something else?
I don't
Are they helping us to embrace, for example, in news? Only read the headline. You know everything about the story just reading the headline. Well, isn't that what TikTok
Yeah, but
is?
what makes you think we're already programmed that way? That we're not.
Well,
That instant gratification, since we got phones, all right, Google, that you can look anything up
but
right then
isn't
and there.
that bad for us? Ultimately,
Right, but that's
isn't
also
it
why we need to
bad?
talk about things like internet literacy, right? And like identifying bias and things like that. Like those are really important things that are not talked about enough in school. Like how are you gonna fact check this? Are you just gonna think
Right.
this is face value?
That's true, too.
I'm someone, I hate looking stupid. So if I see a video, if I see someone say something and I want to make a video about it, I'm gonna rabbit hole through like 8 different Wikipedia articles, but then I'm also gonna check the sources and then read through all that before I'm making a video, before I make a 30-second video about it.
Wait, I have to tell you, I'm really, really glad that we're on demand, so I'll be able to go back on Apple TV and rerun this segment
course.
and slow him down and listen
Well,
to
you
what
put
he
the
has
closed
said.
captioning to
because-
know what the F he said, okay? Because honestly, I always think that Max is like half Latino because he moves off so fast. And I'm like,
I'm actually an 8th Cuban.
Okay.
I had a Red Bull, so I kind of got everything.
To your
inside.
original point,
Having
the
Cuban
reason
in
that-
you is different than being an eighth.
The reason that those 3
Trust
minutes
me.
keep you stuck, because you keep hooked, because you keep looking for the next. So those 3 minutes turn into an hour, because you keep looking for the
And
next.
that
one.
algorithm
And that
knows what
feed-
you like.
and they know what you want.
Isn't
And so
that a classic
therefore,
definition of drug
addiction.
But wait,
It's addiction. It's
it's
what
the
I used to
rush.
feel when I would
It's
go
the
get
rush.
my alcohol. It's exactly the same feeling, and you even get that same rush.
Okay.
But here's what's interesting,
There it is.
though,
Yeah,
right?
but when Al
Now-
Ferguson speaks for 4 minutes, I
Yeah,
just
but-
want it to be over.
But the thing is that what Al just said though is very important,
I gotta
right?
say it, right?
If you go backwards, right? So if we say like it's 2022, right? we're talking about TikTok. If we go back 15 years, we're talking about YouTube. If you go back 25 years, we're talking about MTV.
Wait, this is not going to be good for
It's
me. I know
always,
what's coming.
but I'm saying, like, there's always, right? And this is not saying you're a conservative person, right? But there is a line in that sand that anytime there's a new medium, especially mediums that are adopted by younger people, there's always a stigma put on top of it. Comic books, like all of those things. And it's like, it's really funny that we are now in this new modern era and there's still
complaining.
right?
I saw this really old newspaper article from like the 1800s. Completely changed my perception on everything. It was making fun of kids for reading fictional books.
Yes.
It was the kids these days reading.
Yes.
Are you kidding? Kids these days literate. Are you kidding me?
Al, how do you feel about that, bro, bringing up this topic?
So, given that you were alive then, right? What was it like?
You know, it's interesting because it would hit me between the eyes. Except I'm so interested in things, and that's the only thing that deviates from this observation. But the one thing, even in my interest, I'm interested in why you're interested, not in what you're interested. I've looked at many TikToks. I don't think it's that interesting. This I like it, but to sit for 3 hours and see 25, 50, 100 of these to go down that rabbit hole, I see the addiction thing much more than the entertainment factor of that. But you know, I think it's fascinating that you are fascinated by it. That doesn't mean I embrace it, but I'm so fascinated.
It's engineered to keep you on it.
Yeah.
And would you believe me that there are 12-step programs to help with this?
There's no question.
There are, because it is needed.
There is no
All right,
question
people
about
are
it.
generally addicted and feel the body like quiver by not being able to check their TikTok or check their Facebook.
I was at Miss Florida on Monday. I was sitting with some people that were talking about what they had done on Saturday in TikTok, and one of the people that were sitting at the table had been in TikTok 7 hours on Saturday. Just
different.
You know how much ass you can get in 7 hours instead of being on TikTok?
How much ass can you
At
get,
least
Faye?
one.
A lot.
Right.
One nice ass.
How many pearl necklaces you can collect in that time? I mean, you know.
All right. Okay, we got it. All right, let's move on. Each week at It's Happening Out, we ask our hosts about what is important to them. But the twist is that it must be in just 30 seconds or you're going to hear this bell right there. This segment is called What's on Your Mind, and it's sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus pizza of choice of South Florida. What's on our mind? Well, it's probably the deep dish Detroit-style pizza, or perhaps my favorite, the cauliflower thin crust. Jets Pizza has been with It's Happening Out for 4 years. They captured our attention recently at our 4th season premiere with their new campaign called Bigger is Better. And of course, they were talking about their slices of Pizza Max. Calm down.
Sausage.
Jets supports a huge variety of LGBTQ plus events and nonprofits. With more than 400 locations nationwide and 35 of them here in Florida, they are considered one of the best franchise opportunities in America. And the South Florida LGBTQ community loves their pizza. And that's why Jets Pizza is our sponsor of What's on Your Mind. Let's explore it. Auntie Maim, what's on your mind this week?
Oh my goodness, country music.
Ooh.
Right, so as we were talking, we just had another loss in the country community, and I'm from the South, like I'm from North Carolina, and so I used to listen to country music, and I still listen to like old country music, and I've missed that old style of country music, and that's really been on my mind all the last few days. I've been going back through playlists on Spotify, so I think that we forget how good music was, and it's not just in country, all those genres, and I feel like that's something we really should revisit now as we get further in time.
Very good. And Maxx Fenning, what's on your mind?
All right, it is LGBT History Month. If you're not in the know, so we need to make sure that we're aware of what's going on in our community, what's gone on in our community.
You gave him 30 seconds.
Yeah, oh, exactly. I need to time it. And so what I recommend for everyone here and everyone watching is to pick up a book, piss off a parent in the 1840s for reading, and learn something.
Learn something. Very good advice. And Elimination, what is on your mind this week?
On my mind this weekend, this Honesty South is hosting 300 people of color, kinky, amazing humans to come over and take over South Florida. You vanilla folks better watch out. We have a wonderful weekend of opportunities.
I'm coming. I am.
I know.
Right now?
Literally.
I was gonna say it's not the
Wait,
setting.
those are the wrong words. I will be attending. Yes, right.
We're hosting a welcome party at the Eagle on Friday, an ending party at the Rainbow on Sunday. Please come out and support your, again, Anything that you want to find, leather, latex, rubber, human, puppies, all of that will be here this weekend. And Wilton Manors, you may not be ready for, but we're going to make this city chocolate.
I love going
all
to the
kind of melanin.
I love going to the pound and adopting puppies. I think that's wait, is that what we're talking about?
That's all I thought about.
And Jonathan Casañas, what's on your mind this week?
Family. I fucking love my family. I have family in Fort Myers and in Cape Coral who went through Hurricane Ian and were very scared. And at one point I thought I had lost them. We raised $1,000 within like 20 minutes. We got 2 generators, so many supplies, and we brought it to them, and they're so happy, including my cousin who had just had hip surgery and are now have 0 electricity. So I'm just happy that we were able to do that.
You know, and that's wonderful. And I have to say, last night in Queer News Tonight, we did a 40-minute special on Hurricane Ian. 83,000 estimated LGBT affected by the hurricane in Southwest Florida. At this hour, more than 300,000 are without power. There are so many thousands of LGBT that will not have a job when the power comes back on because the business is going to be gone. Paychecks, food, water. We interviewed 5 people: the president of Pride Naples, Cape Coral Pride, the owner of Eden Show Bar, and what they're doing is acting like a community center in Fort Myers. The big gay bar in Cape Coral's roof was torn off and is, we don't know what's going to happen to them. And Alyssa, a very famous drag queen in South Florida, their stories were harrowing.
And for folks in Miami, I want to say it's tomorrow. I actually don't know the date. Chevron Jones and a bunch of other organizations, including Prism, are actually putting together a dono drive for like mattresses and other things. So make sure to check that out as well.
You know why that's awesome?
I would support that.
The reason why that's
I would support that.
Okay. The reason why that's important is we say it over and over again. Sunshine Cathedral over the weekend got 15 requests from Southwest Florida from different organizations for water. Just for water.
Wow.
And we look at all of the national news and there's no news about LGBT at all.
I saw a news story where they just had the fireman had a tent just for folks to shower. How we take those things for granted.
We tried to say in the story, this impact on Fort Myers Beach, imagine we tried to visualize it. Think of Wilton Drive, of 9 blocks of Wilton Drive, or South Beach, of 9 blocks of Ocean Drive, and it just being gone.
Annihilated.
That's what has happened here. Dramatic. So congratulations and thank you for doing that. And FayWhat, what's on your mind?
FayWhat? So I am piggybacking on what Jonathan was talking about, family, right? So I'm Puerto Rican Colombian, so that means I have a lot of cousins, right? So I had some of my cousins come visit me from Puerto Rico, right? Jorge y Jose Luis Rodriguez. They came to visit me, and those fools ended up in jail. So now they're mad at me because I didn't go bail them out. So here's the thing. If your name is Jorge Rodriguez or Jose Luis, right, Gonzalez, I'm not gonna be able to find your ass in a jail in Miami on the weekend because everybody in there is named George Gonzalez, and I don't know your freaking date of birth. So stop being mad at me. You had a great time. You probably went over the limit of having a great time, and that's your fault, not mine.
Wow. That is a very different family.
What's on
I wish I had a shot to take.
You know, it's really interesting. In my next life, I'm going to do a talk show where people speak slower and lower. It's going to be great.
It's going to be called Slower and Lower.
Slower and lower. It's slower and lower.
Without the heart rate and the blood pressure.
Slower and lower. Slower and lower. Slower and lower. Starring Al Ferguson. That's what it's going to be.
At the Villages.
All right.
That's going to be a very
one of these days, Alice.
Very boring.
All right. Also on our mind tonight is Great Jets Pizza. Watch this.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Okay, well, next up, Hotspots Magazine is getting ready to celebrate its 37th anniversary this fall. It has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the spirit, and that is the spirit of Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week, sponsored by the Broward Center for Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters. I'm going to be going to Blackout. I'm sure I'm going to make that joke 1,000 times. When it when it comes to Broward Center, exactly, size does matter. Broward Center's going, wait, why are we sponsoring this segment? Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the destination of choice for LGBTQ plus South Florida for spectacular entertainment in a large variety of performance venues. Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the entire world, presenting more than 700 performances and 700 performances a year, and more than 700,000 attend. Broward Center is the home for LGBTQ plus entertainers, shows, Broadway, national drag performance, LGBTQ plus choral events, and so much more. And Broward Center supports one of the largest gay communities in the world. Ever heard of it? Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and broadly all of South Florida. They support that LGBTQ plus community and our nonprofits unlike any theater in South Florida. And we are excited to tell you in coming shows about the rich 2022-23 season that the Broward Center for Performing Arts will be bringing to our LGBTQ community. And did you know that surveys show that the LGBTQ community participates in live theater performance 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts? And that's why our sponsor of Hotspots Queer Entertainment News this week is Broward Center. And that news is about Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt has produced Blond, based on the life of Marilyn Monroe, through his Plan B production company and that banner. The actor turned producer has created a bisexual scene in that movie, and the movie touches on sexuality and the LGBT community in interesting ways through Marilyn's life with a throuple. The two men are famous actors and uber famous sons of Charlie Chaplin and Edward G. Robinson. They like each other, which is clear, and Marilyn joins them, becoming the throuple. Our Hotspots Queer Entertainment headline of the week is Brad Pitt's bisexual sex scene in Netflix's Marilyn with two gay men is a blonde bombshell. Watch this.
Miss Monroe, it's time.
How'd you get your start?
Maybe. What start?
In movies.
Quite continental. But diamonds are a girl's best friend. I guess I was discovered. Men grow cold as girls. I know you're supposed to get used to it. And we all lose our charm in the end. I just can't. Square cut or pear shape. I've played Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. I can't face doing another scene with Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn doesn't exist. When I come out of my dressing room, I'm Norma Jean. I'm still her when the camera's rolling.
Because of it.
Blonde. What do we think? Especially the throuple. Brad Pitt's involvement in this. Did you like it? No, we were just talking about this. As we were watching.
It's hard to like, boy. You know, I will tell you that. It's hard to like. I mean, you know, I wanted to support it because I am a huge Marilyn Monroe fan, and aren't many in LGBTQ. We love her. If she was still around right now, we would be loving her like Cher.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I love that Ana de Armas, the Cuban actress, was.
I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you, and I want you to come back to that. But explain that. Why your lesbian voice? I know what the gay guys are going to say, but from your seat, why do we do that?
Okay.
Why? Marilyn, Cher, Bette Midler, others.
Beautiful,
Madonna.
bombshells. You know, they're spotlighted. They're just like, you love their beauty in the LGBTQ plus community, and you just love them that they're transparent and they're themselves unapologetically, which is what we all want to be. And that was what Marilyn represented, even back then when women weren't even looked at as nothing more but sex objects.
Faye, many, I won't say most, because I don't know what everyone else at the table is going to say. Many gay men would say they're damaged. We understand their damage. We love them because we can see the vulnerability of their damage. I don't hear you say that.
Oh, I mean, I'm a woman, so I look at her and it's like she's just an icon, and she's somebody that I would look up to. I look at all the positives. Again, I wanted to see this because I'm a huge Marilyn Monroe fan. But then it was 3 hours of her crying, being victimized, being raped. There was nothing positive about what she really did. You know, she was ahead of her time. You know, Ella Fitzgerald was not allowed to sing at certain clubs because she was black. Yes. Right? And Marilyn Monroe called the freaking owner of the club and said, hey, book her and I will be at the front row every single day and your club will be a success. Ella Fitzgerald never had to play a small jazz club again because of Marilyn Monroe, and that was one of the many things that she did. Yep. She went against her contract when they wanted her to be more sleazy than she wanted to be, and started her own company. You know, when they were expecting her to come back with her tail between her legs going, please, I'm a woman, I need for you to give me a contract. She was like this, I'm gonna start my own company and do
She was
my own.
like what?
This.
Yeah, but you're saying this is an inaccurate depiction?
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's the thing, okay? And then the trouble, right? Again, so the woman who wrote this book, her name was Joyce Carol Oates, and that's what the movie is based on.
It's a fictionalized.
Even she says that it's fictionalized. That trouble never freaking happened.
Never happened.
Now, Brad Pitt knows. He's one of the producers. He's not the only producer, people, right? But he knows what sells. Who doesn't want to imagine the beautiful, breathtaking Marilyn Monroe with two people that were famous, like Kim K, just for being famous?
Yeah.
And again, so go back. So Plan B, Brad Pitt, bisexual, come out the closet. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, again,
that was a different Plan B than I
That was a different Plan B.
No, and I'm
speaking of which, well, there were some weird.
I'm like, Plan B, pregnancy? What am I doing?
But again, to your point, I don't love her because she's damaged. I love her because of the power of, regardless of what happened, she still showed up as a human, authentically beautiful, authentically strong, regardless of what happens. And so we do love the throuple because, again, who doesn't love two strong men with a beautiful ass woman? Faye, what you doing after this?
I told you, I'm not joining you.
Yeah.
You don't have enough money.
We know you're a beautiful woman now. We know.
Oh, he's gonna pay.
But that's the real deal of it is, you know, the throuple with the Plan B, it's him living his story on film where he can't live it in real life.
Yeah.
But how do we know that's not a real thing? Like, how do we know that threesome didn't happen?
Well, again, because the author of the book says that it was.
She said it wasn't.
Okay, completely.
Well, okay. Now speaking of Plan B, why are there's like some really weird like anti-abortion sentiments in this film, and like weird anti-abortion like visualizations that seem to like want to dissuade women from having abortions. I have an issue with that. Like that's a little.
What do you mean? What happened in the movie?
Yeah, there's like I think there's a scene where you know she's like talking to her fetus or something, and it's like
Well, everybody knows that's like one of the high-profile stories about Marilyn that she had an abortion, and so they had to make it bigger than it was.
It's the way that it that it overly dissuades people or demonizes abortion that just didn't rub me the wrong way.
That's
the thing.
She was controlled by white men. She was controlled by she now had autonomy of herself.
Zero in on Brad Pitt. Are we disappointed that Brad Pitt knew he was pushing the buttons?
No.
He created a fictionalized account.
That's the problem. To me, that was the problem with this from the beginning, right? That when the movie was even being shot, people were not even understanding that this was not based on reality. Right. This is literally based on like
it wasn't a biography.
Right. They literally call it like a fantasy picture, right? That was in this person, Joyce Carol Oates' like mind. And the problem is that we're dealing with a real person. And so when you have a real person that's being put into a fantasy scenario, people go into a very specific expectation. So I myself, I'm a giant Marilyn fan since I've been a child.
Why would they do that? Why would they create a situation?
Because the book itself was controversial. When the book came out, it was controversial. So it wasn't like Brad Pitt took something that was like innocuous and was like, let's make. The book was major when it came out because people were already saying like, this is going a bit far, don't you think? Like your weird speculations about her life and all of these things. It makes for good.
But I think so. Yeah. Why did they call her Jennifer and not Marilyn and make it about her story when it's not real and based on
Norma Jean? You mean
Norma Jean?
Norma Jean.
No. I mean, why did they say it was just a random blonde?
Because you're gonna go watch a random blonde, or you're gonna go watch Marilyn Monroe.
Let's come back to our bros conversation, by the way.
And again, some people who don't want to read want to see documentaries on a film, and so therefore we're now giving the false information
there's
of
that
the story.
What I'm saying.
And the fake news. And again, that was we talked about this in season 1, episode 1, about someone telling someone else's story. Someone's going to believe that this is now her story, and it really isn't.
Exactly.
And it may, it's clearly fantasy. But the thing is, I can tell a story about Al being on that corner, selling herself for $1.
I know.
Is it true? Maybe not. But
the thing is,
it is now. It is now.
Wait, what did you hear?
It was $2.
It was $2. And what day was it?
Here's the thing. There is 3 months from now, there's almost no one that knows anything about Marilyn Monroe that is not going to say that she was in a throuple with 2 gay men.
That's right.
Everyone's going to say that.
Especially new gays. Especially new gays that don't know anything about like the history of Marilyn Monroe.
I don't know much.
That's why gays that don't read anything are going to think.
I just told y'all to pick up a book like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but you didn't say which book.
He did say that.
Annie!
Who at the table has seen the movie so far? Netflix, Faye,
and Auntie Maim.
And Auntie Maim. I've seen it twice.
Oh.
I went back and watched it a second time because it was like,
horny.
I think the throuple scene is just awesome. But I went back and watched it a second time because I thought, I think I'd like this, but I'm not sure. And I went back and watched it a second time. And then I really liked it. The second time, I for sure liked it. But I already knew none of this is real. This is completely a dramatic, fictionalized entertainment.
Did you want to be Norma Jean?
Child.
You wanted to be that white. You wanted to be that white.
He wanted to be white.
You get a child.
Right. When you get a child out of me, it's like, shut up. All right. Let's move on. And speaking of Hotspot's queer entertainment, were we doing that? Here's a quick glimpse of Broward Center 2022-23. Watch this.
The Broward Center for the Performing Arts, Parker Playhouse, Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, Rose and Alfred Miniachi Performing Arts Center. 4 venues that together bring a wealth of excitement to our community through the performing arts.
All right. Well, we're back, and you can hear me. We're going to play. We're going to play our game, Shag, Marry, Chop, next. And in Shag, Marry, Chop, it is a game that we have played in every episode since Queer News Tonight. Oh no, it's happening out. It's happening out.
Closed down for it.
Yes, exactly. You're helping me cover as I get to my teleprompter.
That's my job. C2.
Right.
So you can't do Shag, Marry, Chop and include the president when it comes to offing anybody. So of course it's happening out. Try to include President Trump
and
in the
his
Shag
2 sons.
and his 2 sons.
And we said we were going to fuck somebody and we were going to kill somebody.
So
and you can't
guess
do
what
that.
happened?
All right. So now, as a result, thank you for that coverage. We are going to play Shag, Marry, Chop. And it's sponsored by Andrew Christian. Our game is a playful conversation about sex, which seems like this entire show, by the way. Andrew Christian is a literal representation of that playfulness and the world's most recognized sexy brand for men. Iconic names like Trophy Boy, swimsuits, underwear are just the start of Andrew Christian. Founded by and dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community, Andrew Christian has become the status symbol for straight men wanting to adopt an LGBT-like lifestyle. And that's Andrew Christian and what he represents. The brand's support of our community is unparalleled. Pride events, major parties, charitable fundraisers, and many other issues that have become critical to the gay community are all supported by Andrew Christian. And the brand's presence in pop culture, entertainment, video production, and so much more is why Andrew Christian is our sponsor of Shag, Marry, Chop. Okay, now we're going to play. I love that picture. Tonight's theme is LGBTQ History Month. It's October. We heard about this from Max in his What's on His Mind. So this week we're going to play, and this is kind of an interesting Shag, Marry, Chop. First is the modern, or the father of the modern computer, Alan Turing. And then we're going to play with civil rights movement leader Bayard Rustin, and then the famous transgender actress who publicly transitioned in the 1950s, Christine Jorgensen. And let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. And Auntie Maim, let's start with you. First off, let me ask just broadly, before anyone answers the question of the play, do you think these people would like, in 2022, looking into the future, they would be flattered that we were playing Shag, Marry, Chop?
Maybe Shag and Marry, maybe not Chop, Al.
I don't think anyone.
No one wants to be chopped.
You're trying to kill me off. I'm already dead, bitch.
I kind of think so. Well, again, being a Bayard Rustin fan, I think he would, only because of knowing his existence, knowing that any day he could have been chopped anyway.
He was MLK's right hand, right?
He did work prior to. Like he was the mentor to, one of the mentors. And so he knew his existence was any moment. And so to joke about being chopped and not literally being chopped, that's a day in the park for him.
That's
so
I love that observation.
Just being authentic.
And Alan Turing, would he like it pre-castration or post-castration? No, that's too soon.
Wait, what happened? I didn't know that.
Good Lord.
He was castrated after basically winning World War II. Britain castrated him.
For being gay.
For being gay, yeah. All right.
Well, damn.
Yeah. All right, Auntie Maim.
Now that we've gotten through that.
Yeah, now that we know what happened to Alan.
All right.
Sorry, Alan.
Dust that off there.
Sorry, Alan.
Castration.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
So we're going to do, so Shag, because I did wrong the first time. So Shag, I'm going to go with Bayard, because he's a very tall, handsome man, and even back then he was a very handsome man, so I'm going to shag him.
Why?
Why? Well, number one, he's strong in every possible way, right? Like, not just like physically imposing, not just all, but like when you think about what this man was doing at the time,
and what he endured.
They didn't want him there. They didn't want him involved. They didn't want him public. They didn't want those things. But he believed in what he was doing, and for me, that's very sexy, right? So that's why.
Bayard Rustin, in case you don't know, in terms of LGBT History Month, is basically credited as being the intellectual creator of the March on Washington.
Absolutely.
Yep. So he's a Shag.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna go with Marry with Christine, because when I was, I want to say 14 or 13. I was just happened to be up late one night, and Turner Classic Movies had the Christine Jorgensen story on, and it was a movie. They actually did a movie, like a Hollywood movie.
Did they explore all the trans issues?
It was a Hollywood movie of the
didn't know that.
entire life of her, and that was, to me, was like the first time I'd even heard that, seen that. But I loved her, right? I loved like what she did with her life. She's so glamorous. Awesome. She's so all of those things, like, which I was like, yeah, let's marry her. I'm only chopping Alan because
you got chopped.
Well, no, I'm only chopping Alan because
fair.
I have dated and done things with my fair number of nerds, and
have you dated Max?
No.
You know, I used to be a computer science major. Actually,
nerds are hot.
No, nerds are hot, but I've had that phase in life. So
and you're done.
And
you're done with that.
Be shallow.
All right. And okay, got it. And Elimination, who are you shagging?
So I'm going to shag Christine Jorgensen. Because the glamour, the smile. Look at those little eyes. Like, that's a whole lot of fun. That's a whole lot of fun there. Like, we can do some things with some chains and some whips. I'm going to marry Bayard. I'm going to marry him because of the power, the intellectual knowledge, the mentor that he could bring me up. Like, he could be the upcoming that I need to take me to that next level.
Could you marry and be with someone that was smarter or quicker than
Absolutely.
you
Because
could.
The goal is.
I'm not marrying you, by the way.
You said very smarter than me.
Wow.
Ay, Dios mío. Look at
So,
Nice. I did step right in. All right, congratulations.
The thought of the work that he did prior to Instagram, the work prior to the internet, like all having to put himself. He was a scholar.
Yeah.
He went into religious spaces. He went into spaces that was uncomfortable for him, and still found a way to be himself unapologetically.
Can you imagine? Seriously, could you imagine, especially as a black man, being in the room where this voice, who is clearly gay, Martin Luther King, every indication Martin Luther King knew exactly who he was.
Absolutely.
He was not hiding it. And King goes, that's okay. Can you imagine a conversation?
You saw the bigger picture.
So
Oh my God.
let me give you a nugget. So Martin Luther King went to Morehouse, a school of all black men.
In Atlanta.
And so therefore, it was, the white guy knew something.
I think
but
you
anyway,
told him that last week.
he may have.
Probably.
So Al,
It doesn't matter. He still knows it.
Al was the guy throwing a milkshake on us. But anyway, that's another story. But
And by milkshake, you mean?
Yes.
But I want us to realize that I think MLK recognized the voices of all black men. And he still had his moment. But the fact is knowing that until we all rise together, we cannot succeed and I think that's where BR got his power. And so when that march happened, and he was in that mix, he was still in that mix. That's what's important to realize. He was not thrown to the back, regardless of what history tried to say.
Yeah.
He was still in that mix.
I want to ask one more quick question related to Rustin, to both of you. Are you disappointed that historically King never wrote a word about embracement of gay,
No.
queer, whatever?
I'm not. Once again, we have the luxury of looking backwards.
Backwards,
right?
true.
And the thing is that, so I can say this me personally, right? So the kid that I used to babysit when I was younger, he's now very close to the King family. He's white. And that family and what they're doing now as part of his legacy, a lot of them, not all of them, because a couple of them are conservative, but a lot of them have championed queer rights, LGBT rights. Like in my head, I think to myself, those are the values that he instilled in them, even if back then, because of the way the situations were, it was like, we only can conquer one mountain at a time. I look at that as, well, he put something in them, and that's where they're carrying
and
out.
So I agree. And I also Coretta was a big champion of all. Secondly, his daughters are still big champions. But Martin saw the bigger picture. Again, I think if you look at his true legacy, initially it was the black agenda, but eventually it was everyone's agenda.
The human
and so therefore I am not disappointed because there's so many foot soldiers who don't get the credit. And it's now our turn to now make sure those foot soldiers get the credit. And Alan, unfortunately, I don't know too much about you. You don't tickle my fancy. You don't make my nipples get hard. So therefore, I have to let you go. You kind of remind me of Al, them cheeks and like that crazy forehead. Like, yeah, this is
a little bit, yeah.
Wow. All right. And Maxx Fenning, how about you?
Okay, so first of all, I'm glad because y'all know I've never turned on a TV ever, clearly. So I'm glad that we did something in history. But. Wow. But it's still difficult. Okay, I think that I would shag Baird Rustin. There's some passion there, right? Like there's some like passion in so many different ways that I'm feeling. So I like that. So I would shag Baird Rustin.
You're marry?
I would marry Alan Turing. I have sworn off computer science, like I said, but I used to be one. I love a gay in STEM. So I have a lot to talk about.
Right.
I would shag Christine Jorgensen. I'm just not attracted to femme presenting people.
Yeah, exactly. And Jonathan, your shag is?
My shag is Alan for sure, because he's got a cute face in that picture there. He's kind of cute. You know, why not?
I can't unsee
I
Al's
give him
face.
a little bit.
You've done worse, right?
I've done way worse.
$1 is $1, right? I mean, shit happens.
And he could probably fix my phone while I'm fucking him. You know. I would probably marry Christine because she's an actress, she's a singer. I feel like we both kind of connect.
That surprises me.
And we would probably sing the night away type of thing. And I'm gonna chop Bayard because I've been with someone who wants to save the world, and they're more about saving the world than they are about you. And I do not have time for that.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Gentlemen out there, you know who you are. Jonathan called you out.
That's exactly.
Let's bring that down. Let's bring that down.
I think I know who you are. All right.
But history shows us that BR was
Let's
free.
extend this show 30 minutes just to talk about this and who we're talking about. I don't know, but
all right.
History,
I love them still.
Yes, I know you
Can I
do.
get to
I know
my
you do.
Shag Mary
And
Chop now?
yes, please.
No
tell
one
us.
cares.
All right, so I'm gonna shag Alan Turing, okay? Because obviously he can't shag me, right? So there's that. And he's also the reason, to thank him for IT and also spiraling through TikTok. I mean, it really started with him.
True.
If you really think about it, right? I'm gonna marry Baird, of course, because it's gonna be good ass sex to look at him, and he's gonna let me have my side piece with the pool girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You won't have a problem, right? You would be totally fine. I'm good for him saving the world. I'm totally good.
Absolutely.
And so I'm gonna have to chop Christine because obviously in another alternate universe, why would I pick a woman when I would pick a woman now? You know what I
BR would
mean?
be a
So
good
it's kinda
wingman.
like,
Yeah.
BR would be a good wingman.
right?
That's our.
Good swap, right?
How
That's
come you
it
never
good.
shag Mary Kill?
Because I'm just sitting here looking into the fishbowl. All right, it's time to say goodnight. So let's hear from our host for one final time as we get a good night from them. And Elimination, let's start with you.
So follow me on Elimination Onyx on all the social medias. I just want to say, and remember, for gay rights, gay rights cannot happen until we support the rights of our trans siblings, our women, and all blacks. Let's be clear. Until we support the rights of them, gay rights will never be secure.
Yeah.
Good night, episode. See you next time.
Where are you looking? Like,
I was gonna say, who's he talking to? Right? Right.
What happens every night? Every day when he's breaking his teeth.
No, he stands in front of his bed talking just the same way. Wait, Elimination, who are you talking
I
to?
want to make sure that
Right.
I felt like that was like the official speech before sex happens.
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you why you're going to love this.
And here's why.
And here's why. And
All
Max,
the bullet points.
Right,
Thesis.
right,
body
exactly.
paragraphs.
And Maxx Fenning, a good night from you.
So I am very honored by the fact that I have been nominated for South Florida Gay News's Best New LGBT Activist.
Awesome. Awesome.
And also, FayWhat's also has received an nomination.
Yes.
Yeah. So make sure to do that. You can vote every single day, and you should vote every single day. You should set a reminder in your phone to vote every single
Oh,
day.
wait, you can vote every day?
And from every email you got, okay?
Every
I
email
started
you got.
opening
Yeah.
up
Every
emails,
email
all
you
right?
got,
Like,
yes.
say what?
That's
Yes,
important.
I am.
I will
Craig
be,
Stevens
so I will
is
be
gonna beat me.
expecting.
Say what?
I will
Say
be
what?
expecting
Every day.
an alferguson@gmail.com.
Onyx
I will be
himself.
expecting.
Onyx
I will be
himself.
expecting a RuPaul plug at gmail.com. I will like all of the above, right? Old man's colonoscopy at gmail.com.
Oh, Max,
colonoscopy.
in the first time that I met you, you were this quiet, shy, little, I don't know nothing about nothing, and this is you are tonight.
Injection.
We missed
I
that
love
guy.
that.
Don't we miss that
missed
guy?
him.
Oh my God.
That's it. And Auntie Maim, good night from you.
Good night, everybody. Make sure, remember, you have 26 days until Halloween, so this is your warning, right? This is the drag queen warning. Don't wait till the last minute. Put some thought into it, for goodness sake. I mean, the world's burning. We might as well have a good time this time, so have fun.
Absolutely. I went out over the weekend and I got my Halloween costume.
Ooh.
I'm planning this year. Yep. I won't tell you
What
anymore.
is it?
Nope,
Privileged
nope,
white
nope,
guy?
nope,
You're that
nope.
every day.
No,
I was thinking old man with a Volvo.
House of Volvo.
How's the bubble dog?
Oh,
Old man with a
wow.
Volvo.
You're gonna be FayWhat's dog?
All right.
The guy from Monopoly?
And the guy from
The
Monopoly.
Wendy's guy. You could also do the Wendy's
Dave,
guy.
yeah, Colonel
Dave
Sanders.
Tucker. You could do
Colonel
the
He's
Oh, that's
dead.
from
What other
KFC.
white guy?
Dead.
Yes.
He's dead.
All of them.
All the white guys.
Over Redenbacher.
I
A lot
don't
of white
remember.
guys
Have I
are
done a
dead.
good night
You can
from
still
you?
be all of them.
All red and box.
Did you do a good night? I can't remember.
A lot of
No,
white
I
guys are
didn't.
dead.
Yeah,
You can
all
still
right.
beat
And
them.
You went to school with them, right?
How is Orville?
Real quick, because I didn't say it.
Of course, why not?
Yeah, because I love talking. Because
I don't wanna go home.
World is burning. Speaking of that, before our next episode,
Yes. House of Volvo. Yeah.
there we are.
I am blessed.
But before our next
From
episode,
House of Yas. Oh, wait, different.
before our next episode will be the deadline to register to vote in the state of Florida.
That's
So if you have
right.
not registered to vote or your voter registration is not up to date, it's October 11th. You can do it on vote.org.
Was that his goodbye? Please tell me that was his goodbye.
I'm done. Oop, zip. As long as you, I will keep. You know what?
You said you were done and you keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking if y'all don't register to vote.
And
so,
Jonathan Casañas.
Yes. Well, good night. Thank you so much for letting me be here. I know you guys are very big fans of Gay Ultra Festival. We are now in Gay Ocho Festival season. It is the largest of its kind. Diversity and Inclusivity
What's the date?
Festival.
So much fun.
It's February 19th. We're now looking for funding. Our kickoff is going to happen next month. I'll let you know when that is.
Okay.
But please reach out to info@gayochofestival.com if you're willing to donate or if you want to volunteer. We will take you on.
You know, and I just to plug support for you, I went for the first time last year. Faye was on the stage. She did a fantastic job. They have this lesbian alley thing. I never quite figured out what the alley was all about, but I thought it was a joke. Right.
I love that festival. It's okay, most people don't understand ladies' alleys.
Yes, exactly. Clearly, I'm a gay man. But it was so much fun. And the energy was just really, really, it was fun.
Thank you so
and
much.
A good night from FayWhat?
FayWhat? So I just want to say thank you for everybody around this table. You guys are extraordinary and wonderful. We did episode 3, Mo.
Yes.
We did it. All right, so we'll be back here next week at 9 p.m. And Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm on Queer News Tonight with my favorite white man, you. And then we're back here with IHO. Don't forget the FayWhat show Monday mornings at 9 a.m. If you miss Mondays, make sure you go back and watch it on demand. House of Yaz, funny man, Mr. Tarek Turkman, was in bed with me this Monday morning.
That's
and
my
he
baby.
Was hysterical.
Yes.
So make sure that you catch it on demand anytime.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder who's not in Faye's bed. All right, well, that's it. Another week with It's Happening Out. You sat right here at the LGBTQ plus kitchen table with us as we kikied on lots and lots of things for quite a long time, I might add. And we're talking about the things that are important in our community. We invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our LGBTQ plus community important to you? Our mission means we deeply believe it is. Pick up Hotspots magazine on newsstands all over South Florida. Queer News Tonight, covering the LGBTQ plus news of South Florida, America, and our entire world, is daily and live at 9 p.m. on Roku, Apple TV, and many other television platforms. And we remind you, take the time. This is the first week in October. This is a really important month for us. We're in the high holy days now. Let's make sure that we enjoy them. We've come out of pandemic. We're not sitting in, maybe we should mask. We're not talking about social distancing. We've done all of the right things. Now in October, it's time to celebrate. And we do that right here on our flagship program. You sat right here with us tonight, and we're here every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Because remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Until next time, good night.
Bye. Bye, bitches.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire